So I'm using today Roben-Marie's Mixed Media Essentials stamp set, and I'm just using it to create some background here, just some extra texture to go on. And then now I am using my very favourite teal, which is the golden teal, and I really love this colour. It's just so gorgeous, and I'm using a roller to just kind of roll around some paint. I quickly abandoned this tool because it wasn't quite as I expected it would be. I think I probably just didn't use enough paint, and I just went with the good old-fashioned fingers. So I just got my fingers messy, start spreading the paint around and just rubbing it in wherever I like. I like to use my fingers because it gives you a really different texture and different mark from paintbrushes do, and it's just a little bit more fun. So I'm going in now with my second colour, which is some magenta, and I'm just throwing it on where I have the gaps here. I'm using a paintbrush, and I also use my fingers as well to just add in the extra colour. I love the way that the magenta contrasts with the teal. The two together are just such gorgeous colours, and the way that they mix over and create that really lovely purple kind of colour where the two overlap is just fabulous. So my third colour here is this lovely bright yellow, and again I'm using my fingers here to just apply it, smear it on. I just love the way that it feels beneath your fingers. The paint feels so smushy, and you just kind of feel like a little kid when you're doing it with your fingers, and you're just so much more free, just slap it on any old wear. So I really love finger painting, and I would definitely recommend it. So I'm going in here with some Windsor and Newton ink, and this ink is just such a lush colour. It's such a vibrant pinky red purple. It's just gorgeous. So the colour here is Carmine or Carmine. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but I'm just adding it on here with some drips just to go right down my page. I'm dipping my paintbrush in water in between to just kind of get that nice runny texture going straight down my page. So Liquitex paint marker here to just add in some extra marks onto my page over the top of the colours, so you can still see some of the stamps peeking through, and it's just giving an extra layer to my page. I'm just using the nib of the pen here to make my marks. These pens have such a gorgeous kind of chisel tip. It's really easy to just use the pen itself to make a mark, almost like a stamp. So that's generally what I do whenever you see me making these kind of marks with my Liquitex markers. And Lord knows I have enough of them. This one is the titanium white, and it's definitely one of my go-to ones. So I'm going back in here again with my Stays On ink and one of Roben-Marie's stamps again from the Mixed Media Essentials collection. So this is the arrow that comes in that set, and I really love it. It's nice and scribbly, and I just love the way that it's shaped. It stamps up really, really nicely as well. So I'm just doing a couple of arrows in different directions just to add some visual interest and to draw the eye around the page as well. So just some good old white gesso again, just going over the edges of my stamp here, just to really highlight where the arrows are and just really draw the eye into them. So I'm just simple gesso. I love to use gesso as a paint as well as a preparation in my background. It's just such a versatile medium. I really love to use it. So I've just added in some lines with my Windsor and Newton Payne's Grey watercolour marker and just whited it down a bit to give it a bit of a change of texture. And I'm just going in with my mechanical pencil and adding in a few notes and some journaling in here for my page. So something I'm super into lately is using my watercolour marker to actually make some marks on my page and then wetting my paintbrush and just going over them. You see me doing that here, and the brush tip on these Windsor and Newton markers is just gorgeous to work with, and then you just almost rub out in fact I did rub out here on this one, you almost rub out the marks. It just gives you a really nice texture and a really nice feel to the page. It lets the marks show, but they're not as bold as say the Liquitex marks are, so it just gives you an extra variety of marks on your page. So I'd highly recommend these markers. They're quite pricey, but you can pick them up one at a time, which is what I do.